gray, perhaps?
Why not? What's wrong with dark gray?
Nothing really. I don't particularly dislike gray. Come to think of it, I make a good amount of my money from gray suits. It's just that, I don't know. I don't think it's festive enough for the wedding you've described.
Oh, festive schmestive. Nobody's going to be looking at an old man.
Well, maybe they should. Let's command some attention. Why don't we?
The young bride and groom can command the attention.
Oh, that'll happen regardless.
Not some old guy in a back row church pew and then later at some function room corner table.
You know, I've got a summer wing with a fine, very subtle blue and green pattern. Just a background, Joe.
No, dark gray on dark gray will do just fine.
Just a thread of one color vertically and the other horizontally, it'll make a difference.
I'm not trying to make a difference. I'm just a wedding guest on a long invitation list.
I've got another bulb, a little lighter still, a silk and linen blend with a trace thread of gold in a maroon shadowing an azure blue.
Don't get yourself carried away, George.
And then we accessorize to those few thin but exquisitely colored threads in there behind the grays.
Look, I'm told that the wedding is formal, by the book. I'm merely another guest, friend of the family's. I shall comply with gray. On gray, on gray, on gray. Just watch, I could be as formal as all get out.
Well, I'll be the judge of that, Joe. I mean, how many suits have I made for you over the years?
I must be entering a new phase.
Well, I prefer your old phase. You know, the one where you listen to the expert sartorial advice of your expert tailor.
Yes, well, my wife informs me that I just get contrarier and contrarier.
Oh, the poor suffering woman. Remind me again, how did she end up picking you?
Just lucky, I guess.
Yeah, your luck. Her bird.
You wouldn't be so cheeky if you weren't holding me at pinpoint here.
True, perhaps, especially as I've arrived at the area of your crotch.
Charming, George.
So, you better hold real still.
My very private's under siege.
Because I've got as many pins as it will take to tame this savage beast.
I'm holding still all right. All too still there at my fly. The formerly savage beast, it would seem. Nowadays, not so much.
Now, that doesn't sound like the power broker I know in clothes. Little temporary setback, is it? You know, I know a doctor you should see. Fix you right up.
No thanks. I've been seeing quite enough doctors these past few months. They seem to be shredding me bit by bit.
Wouldn't know what to look at you.
Carving me up like a squash and taking out the good with the bad.
That's not exactly a whopping statement of confidence in your medical provider, Joe. What did they do?
Court me like a goddamn apple is what they did.
A squash, an apple. Calm down, man.
Hollowed me right out, as if they'd used a melon baller.
Easy there, steady now with so much of the produce section. Tell the hair to shrink. That's what a man's bespoke tailor is for, after all. What did those meaty medical savants do to get poor Joey so agitated?
What they did, I suppose what they did was save my life.
Save your life? Well, the absolute nerve of them. Geez, man, maybe you should seem a little more appreciative.
At least that's what they're patting themselves on the back for anyway.
Well, did they or didn't they?
Yes, for Christ's sakes. I'm standing it right like a mannequin for you, am I not?
Not exactly. Could you keep still a minute, would you? So, what was it, Joe?
Guess. What else? What does it always seem to be, lurking, ready to pounce?
Cancer.
Bingo, you win. Organs removed, I lose.
Except, you just said they saved your life. That sounds a lot more like winning to me. How is that losing?
My God, your shiny, happy optimism is dripping all over me. It's sticky. What do I use to clean it off?
You ought to try some yourself sometime. So, did they get it all?
Affirmative.
And the margins? Clear?
Listen to you with your surgeon-savvy vocab. Got a little back alley practice on the side, do you? Ouch, damn it!
I wonder how that could have happened. Okay, let's try again, only this time a little more civil. And the margins?
Yes, the surrounding areas are all clear. Pathology report as crystalline as a mountain brook. I am duly informed that I can refer to myself as a survivor, not a term to drop casually in mixed company, I imagine.
Well, everything you've told me about your outcome is positive. So would you lose the curmudgeon posture for a minute? I mean, what in the world are you thinking?
What I think? Who knows anymore what I think? Thinking's not coming so easy to me sometimes these days.
Well, maybe you should give it another try. Come on, man, you're alive. You're standing here with me.
Nothing's coming very easy to me, I'm afraid. I control the voting shares of a handful of burgeoning companies. I control the 7th largest commercial truck fleet in the nation. I control the livelihood of thousands of people, but I can no longer even control my own bladder.
I'm just trying to provide the necessary perspective.
Yes, I see. On top of everything else, I'm an ungrateful bastard.
Well, if the shoe fits, perhaps, but not really what I meant. What I mean is, you've been ill for crying out loud, afflicted, and now you're recovering. Maybe cut yourself a little slack. And hey, besides, you're getting a sweet new suit that's gonna make you look dandy.
Oh, I'm a real dandy, all right. A diaper dandy. I leak like a busted water main.
That detail, friend, is thankfully known only to you.
Yes, there are whole goddamn industries built around my new infirmities.
Which should make the vulture capitalist and you pleased, no?
That's venture capitalism. Eventually, if I'm very lucky-ducky, I graduate to wearing maxi pads.
Well, until you do, I can assure you the cut of your suits won't give away any of your damn little secrets.
You're a real full-service operation, Georgie.
That's why I charge you the big bucks, Joey. Okay, there. It's marked. You can change. Give you 3 weeks as usual, and I'll call you for a fitting.
And it's gonna be gray?
Nope. Since when do you come here, when you come in here and you get what you ask for, Joe? Because that's not what you come to see me for, is it?
Remind me, what is it then? I'm sure as hell it isn't your unwavering support.
Strokes you can always get from your workplace lackeys, big boss man.
Oh, good, I'll do that. But just what am I getting from you?
Color, Joe, in every sense of the word.
And why would that be?
Well, because I figure if I keep putting it right under your nose, maybe one day you'll start to see it. I mean, why even bother with weddings if not to revel in the festive? Tell you what, man, I'll make you a black suit instead, and you can specialize in going to funerals.
I already have a perfectly fine black funeral suit, George. And you made it for me. Regrettably, I found myself needing to wear it a lot more often than I care to lately.
Understandable at your advancing age.
So no thanks very much. I'd rather not specialize in attending funerals. George, here's a dirty little secret from the alleged curmudgeon. You know what I actually really like about being invited to weddings?
Don't tell me. We need more mystery between us, you and me.
That they forgive me.
Forgive you? Who forgives you?
The young people, the marrying couples and all their ilk.
Forgive you for what? For the enormous check you no doubt write them as a wedding gift?
My check is the flimsiest gesture of reparation I could possibly make. No, they forgive me, forgive us. All of us still in charge and still in their blasted way. They forgive us for the appalling ruination we're leaving them. Me with my 7th largest truck fleet in the nation. Me with my teak and marble boardroom tables.
Me with my pins and chalk and tape measure?
They forgive us for the wreckage we're bequeathing them after we've taken everything we wanted. They forgive us for laying to waste so much of everything in our path.
Your path, pal. I'm just a humble tailor.
They are so besotted with love and sex, so charmed with beauty and youth and whimsy, so brimming with juice and spice and smoke and wine, that they spare us the stark judgments we entirely deserve.
The sex and wine part I understand anyway.
We leave them the unenviable task of cleanup and repair, of broken promises, breached systems, skirted laws, violated trusts, splintering society, disintegrating democracy. Even a fractured planet, for God's sakes, gasping, sputtering, spiraling downward under the sheer weight of our shameful, accrued neglect. They should be furious at us at such betrayals, and instead, they joyfully invite us to their weddings.
So maybe they spare us the fury after all.
Seems they do, George. They are magnificently benevolent, these young lovers, and we are entirely unworthy. With such kindness from them, I would listen to 1,000 of their truly unquestionably dreadful wedding DJs.
Well, don't step on the Cousminer as you slip off those trousers, unless you want me to sew you a nice pair of knickers instead.
Hey, you know, maybe I do. Can you make them formal? Knickers? Is there such a thing?
Oh, sure. I can whip that right up. Leave it to me.
I wouldn't want to ruffle any feathers at such a nice, proper, by-the-book event.
I'm envisioning it right now. I can see it. Short pants might be just the look for you. Really set you apart.
You think? And can we do them in gray?